Okay, so why does something as incredibly simple as taking a deep breath actually calm us down? I mean, think about it. We do it automatically all day long, right? Yet when we consciously change that rhythm, it's literally like flipping a master switch in our biology. It's this genuine mystery of human physiology, and today, we're going to solve it together.
And understanding that switch has never been more critical. The World Health Organization says that over 300 million people globally are affected by anxiety disorders. So, hey, if your own heart rate just ticked up a little bit hearing that number, you are definitely not alone. We're dealing with massive stakes here. Chronic stress is an absolute epidemic, and the constant demands of our modern world just leave so many of us feeling completely overwhelmed and trapped in this loop of physiological panic.
So let's dive right into it. Welcome to this explainer on the neurobiology of yoga and breath. We're going to look right under the hood at the rigorous science behind these ancient practices. We're moving way beyond the philosophical here, straight into the biological mechanics of how conscious breathing and movement literally rewire us.
Here's our roadmap. We'll start with the modern stress epidemic, then trace the ancient roots and modern science. After that, we'll look at rewiring your brain, hacking the nervous system, the power of sound, and wrap up with some evidence-based breathing techniques you can use.
All right, kicking things off with Section 1, the modern stress epidemic and understanding our bodies.
You see, when we're stressed, our bodies instantly shift into the sympathetic nervous system's fight or flight mode. It's a super ancient survival mechanism. Our breathing gets fast and shallow, our heart rate spikes, and cortisol just floods our system. The real problem? In today's world, we kind of get trapped there. But on the flip side, conscious, slow, deep breathing acts as a direct trigger for the parasympathetic nervous system. That's your rest and digest mode. Hitting that trigger instantly lowers your blood pressure and brings you back to a state of calm.
Moving on to Section 2, Ancient Roots, Modern Science. Let's see how we're validating this wisdom.
So yoga actually started way back in ancient India, documented between 1500 and 500 BCE in the Vedas, mostly focusing on meditation. By the 2nd century CE, Patanjali systematized it into an 8-limbed path, all about mental discipline. Then, between the 15th and 17th centuries, Hatha Yoga came along, putting a much stronger emphasis on physical bodily control. And now? Well, in the modern era, we're using fMRI and neuroimaging to scientifically validate what those ancient practitioners already knew all along. Modern science is literally proving that these practices cause measurable physical changes in the brain.
Which perfectly tees up Section 3, Rewiring your brain through contemplative science.
Because when you engage in these practices, you are quite literally building a better brain. Scans show increased gray matter in the prefrontal cortex. That's the part of your brain responsible for decision-making and keeping your emotions in check. It also boosts a protein called BDNF, which is basically fertilizer for neural growth and resilience. Amazingly, it shrinks the amygdala, which is your brain's fear center. And this is crucial. It elevates GABA, a chemical that acts like a braking system for those excessive, anxious thoughts, while also bumping up your mood-stabilizing serotonin and dopamine. It's an absolute chemical reset.
All right, let's dive into Section 4, hacking the nervous system and controlling our physiology.
The absolute key here is understanding your vagal tone. So the vagus nerve is this amazing nerve that branches out to your inner ear, throat, heart, lungs, and abdominal organs. Your vagal tone is basically the variability between your heart rate when you inhale versus when you exhale. Having a higher vagal tone is a massive biological marker of your emotional resilience. Think of it as your body's ability to smoothly pump the brakes, switching from that stressed-out fight or flight state right back down into a calm, centered baseline.
The best way to picture this is that your breath acts entirely like a seesaw from the nervous system. Every single time you breathe in, you activate your sympathetic response just a little bit. Your heart speeds up. But every time you exhale, you activate the parasympathetic response, slowing your heart right back down. By manipulating that ratio, specifically by lengthening your exhale and comfortably holding the breath out, you directly stimulate the vagus nerve and forcefully activate that calming, restorative response. It's like a hack for your biology.
Now for Section 5, the power of sound and limbic deactivation.
So there are 4 distinct stages to working with sound in these practices. You start by listening to a sound externally, then you hum along with it, then you hum to yourself, and finally, you just hum it mentally. Moving your attention from an external sound to an internal one promotes what scientists call limbic deactivation. Since the vagus nerve branches right into the inner ear and the larynx, the actual physical vibration from vocalizing on an exhale transmits directly through that nerve. It quite literally quiets down the fear centers of your brain, discharging you from those exhausting loops of compulsive, anxious thinking.
And finally, Section 6, Evidence-Based Breathing Techniques. Let's get into the actionable tools.
First up is box breathing, where sometimes you'll hear it called 4-square breathing.
It's super simple. You inhale for a count of 4, hold it for 4, exhale for 4, and then hold the breath out for 4. Then you just repeat that for 5 to 10 rounds. And hey, this isn't just nice theory. This exact micro-action is famously used by Navy SEALs right before high-stakes operations. Why? Because it rapidly stabilizes your heart rate variability, builds instant resilience, and forcefully pulls you out of acute stress or panic.
Another incredibly powerful tool is the relaxation response, which was pioneered by Dr. Herbert Benson over at Harvard University. He found that you can trigger your body's innate protective mechanisms to actually lower your metabolism and your breathing rate. You just combine 4 things: a quiet environment, a comfortable position, a passive let-it-happen kind of attitude, and an object to dwell upon, like just silently repeating the word 1 every single time you exhale. This practice acts as a secret weapon to bring your body back into a much healthier physiological balance.
So I really want to leave you with this final, provocative thought. You take roughly 20,000 breaths every single day just to keep yourself alive. But how many of them are conscious? Shifting even a tiny fraction of those breaths from an automatic reflex into a conscious, deliberate rhythm holds the immense power to restructure your brain and reclaim your calm. The ultimate tool to change your biology is quite literally right under your nose. So are you going to start using it today?